Alright, today's tutorial is going to show you a little bit how to set up the Excel Battleship Excel document. So, of course, in our Google Classroom here, when you click right here on the front, this document here, the Battleship game Google Doc goes through exactly how to set up your game board with Excel 2013. So let's start with step one. First, click on the Start button on the bottom left-hand corner. That is this right here. So we're going to click on that. Our next thing we're going to do is, of course, go to All Programs. Scroll down just a little bit and then go to Microsoft Office 2013. And then we're going to open up a Excel 2013 document. Of course, when it opens up, it wants us to click on a blank worksheet. All right. So here is a blank worksheet with Excel. So I'm going to be going back and forth from this document to that. In the ribbon, we're going to click on the Page Layout tab, then Orientation, then click Landscape. All right. First thing we need to do as well is down here at the bottom, you've got, of course, your different views, just like you had with Word and PowerPoint. The page layout, of course, is the page that we want to go to. This actually makes it look like what a page is going to look like when you print it. All right. And this is the view that we want to use for our game board. So in page layout here, wants us to go up in the ribbon, and we're going to go to page layout, then orientation, and we're going to switch it to landscape. So it flips it sideways like this. All right. The other thing that the page layout tab does when we are going to be changing the width of these different columns, this up at the top here, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, these are columns and these are rows right here. So some of the different things we're going to be doing is changing the height and the width. So in the page layout view, that's what we went to right here. That's page layout view. What does it want us to do? We are going to move the mouse over so first we're going to click the top left corner to highlight the entire workbook. So right now, to highlight the entire workbook, just click right there and it highlights the entire thing. So now when we make a change to the width of column A, like that, see how it changed all the rest of them. You can, of course, click right here to change that width by inches, but also we can just right-click to do it. What does it want us to do? It wants us to change the row height and the row width, both to 0.85. All right, so right-click on A, put your mouse over A, right-click, column width, 0.85. Now we're going to go to row width, just go over one, mouse is right there, right click, and that's also 0.85. All right, so now we got our boxes, which we should have A through K, and one, which let's zoom out a little bit to look at it, 1 through 8. So 1 through 8 here, A through K up there. Now our next things we're going to do is we're going to color the entire thing. Let's do a light color, a light blue. So to color or fill in is going to be right here, fill color. And let's do kind of a light blue color right here. Now, of course, we lost our grid lines, so we don't know the differences in all these boxes. So let's bring those back by going up to the borders and then going to all borders. So now we have those grid lines back that each one of these cells are able to see. All right, so let's go back through this. What are some of the other things we need to do? After setting the grid lines to disappear, now we want to make it so the text is centered vertically and horizontally. So all we need to do is highlight from here to here. This is the page that we're going to be using. And for alignment right here, which if the page is all the way open, that right there centers in the middle of the tab, and that right there centers it the middle that way. So now if we write something inside of this cell here, you can see it types it right in the middle there. All right. Now that basically is all the stuff we need to do. What we're going to be doing now is we're going to save this file, save as, save into your U drive, and we're going to call this one game board. And now we're going to save a second one so we don't have to do it twice in the same U drive, and we're going to call this one my ships. All right, now I can open up that game board and go 50-50 on each side. Of course, zoom these down so I can see my entire game board. We'll zoom this one down as well. And there we go. So about 50% on both of them. Now, of course, up on my header, I can, right up here, game board. And over here, I'm going to write my ships. Spell that right. All right, so of course now on this one, our next couple of steps, of course, after this is going to be putting where you want your ships to be. So we've got one aircraft carrier that's 6 squares. It's supposed to be orange, and it wants us to write a capital A inside of it. So let's find out where we want to put our aircraft carrier. And it's 6 squares. I'm going to play the middle game. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It wants it to be orange, so we're going to change the fill color to orange. All right, and then we're going to put an A inside of them, a capital A. Now we know which one is our aircraft carrier. We're going to do a battleship with his 5 squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is supposed to be yellow. And it wants, of course, a B for the battleships. And so forth until you have your entire screen filled up with your different ships. Of course, they can't cross over like this. We can put one down here. We could even put our cruiser right there if we wanted. Now, to play the game, you're going to go back and forth. So I, of course, have no clue what person's ships are. I say the first one, G1. And I put on the game board here either a hit for H or miss right there. Of course, if I miss, I hit there. Then they go. And I read over here, hit, or they say B2. That's a miss. Now, all of a sudden, they say E3. That's a hit. I don't have to tell them what they hit, but they hit a ship. Now, they're, of course, next one's going to click probably B3. They're going to try F3. They'll try E2 and find out, oh, I hit another one. Next, they're going to try E1. Oh, nope, it's a miss. They'll kind of realize that maybe I need to go back downwards. When you hit and shrink or sink an entire ship, that's when you need to tell them, hey, you sunk whatever you sunk, my battleship. Now, of course, I then would black this out because now it's been hit. So the color now turns to black because it's been sunk. And of course, on your game board, you're going to be going back and forth trying to fill up your game board with what you think is on their ships. So any questions, please ask the teacher. Thanks.